What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we are going to be doing round 2 of this mock draft. And before I get rolling, we have to address a couple things with this past part of the mock draft, and it's solely down to the cornerbacks. So, literally 2 minutes ago, Matt Miller just tweeted out that Patrick Surtain ran a 4.41 or 4.42, something in the 4.4s, which is spectacular. My problem still remains is he actually going to play at that speed? But because of the Falcons being in a division that is a lot, it's going to be a lot safer in terms of not going to get burnt by Tyreek Hill. We're going to be swapping Caleb Farley and Patrick Surtain here, going with the Niners being able to get Caleb Farley, who, again, he just got back surgery, so he's going to be dropping out of the top 10 for me. We'll be addressing that a little bit heavier in the future drafts as well. But just for the sake of continuity, we're going to be swapping these two. Again, they're both going to be really talented cornerbacks. But Caleb Farley's back surgery, it's super minor, but he will be dropping a little bit. Pairing him up with Jason Verrett will be a really, really good mentor. If you guys do hear any type of clacking, clittering, weird, random crap, I don't know if those two were actual words, it's going to be construction that's going on around my dorm. But JC Horn will still remain, but we are going to be swapping these two picks due to, of course, the speed as well as, of course, the back surgery. So that's the only change that I have so far. Again, any other changes will occur in later drafts, so stick around for that because, of course, this Sunday is going to be the fan mock, so you guys are going to want to keep your eyes out for that because we got a full loaded squad of teams who are rolling in. But starting off with the 33rd pick, we're sitting here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and, this is exactly the perfect situation because you don't want to sign a running back to a 5-year deal always. Sometimes it's just nice to have him for a 4-year and not have to worry about 5th-year extension or anything like that. And they got, like a 5th-round pick out of it. My hair, I know, it's pretty garbo today, but that's okay. I'm looking right here, and they're able to pretty much retain everybody. I would think about Christian Barmore at this spot, but we all know that they were trying to make Leonard Fournette into more of an Adrian Peterson type and give Tom Brady an actual weapon to check it down to. To me, I'm a big fan of ETN on this squad. It's just like Harris is a beast. He could definitely be the pick here. You guys can definitely select that if you so please, but I'm going to be rocking ETN just to give a much better check down option with the speed. Again, they're going to have 2 home run hitting running backs, and that's going to be really, really beneficial to the squad. Now, the Jets are sitting here, and, well, there's a lot of ways that we can roll. We can get Jalen Phillips here to pair him up with Shaq Lawson there, which that'd be a pretty, I know it's Carl Lawson. Shaq Lawson's on the Texans. Carl Lawson, and create one of the more dynamic edge duos in the NFL, which would be a pretty damn good move. If we want to look at wide receiver, which again, they don't really need, we could look at Terrace Marshall. Again, we got Kyle Pitts, by the way, for the people who are saying that that's now a bad pick. Hindsight's 2020. He just ran a 4.46 unofficial. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be gone by 4. So I'm honestly looking here at Jalen Phillips, and this is a team that could potentially waste a pick, so to speak, on a Jalen Phillips if he ends up retiring. Could go Aaron Robinson here, though. But, I mean, ultimately, I think that Jalen Phillips' talent is going to push him to just about this spot. I have him as a top 10 to 12 talent in this entire draft after watching all of his tape. But, again, those concussions could be a serious concern. He did take a year off, contemplated, and realized how much he loved football, switched universities, and came back. So I think this is a pretty logical pick. We could go Nick Bolton here to pair up with Jared Davis because I think that there's been rumors of CJ Mosley going out. But I think that Jalen Phillips is it's a good value. It's a good value for the pick. I'm a pretty big fan of the Jets getting that. They can get their lightning to their thunder later on in the draft. You don't need to spend that high of a pick, especially when, your offense is already pretty well revamped. The Ravens are sitting here and they're like, where do we go now? I said we're going to get the guy who we would have gotten the last pick at this pick. That's Terrace Marshall Jr. Definitely a really good vertical threat with good length, good size. And on a team like with the Ravens, because they're looking at Sammy Watkins right now, and nothing's official yet. He's meeting up with the Colts as well. So it's not like Sammy's only meeting with the Ravens. He could be the Sammy Watkins that this team is looking for. So they're kind of looking into that similar body type range, this type of speed, deep threat. I think Terrace Marshall would be perfect for that. Dolphins are sitting here, and well, I hate having to do this to you guys, but this team is built for an RBBC. What is an RBBC, you might ask? RBBC is running back by committee. That is where you cycle running backs based on what you want to do on the down, and nobody really is the true number one. I mean, some guys maybe have like 20 carries versus like 15 or maybe 10, but there's still a consistent rotation of running backs, and that's the key when we look at the two running backs on the board. Because running back, that could be a huge, huge benefit to this team if they're able to get a true power back, and both these guys are going to be amazing for that. Najee Harris is a volume shooter. I keep saying this over and over again to the people who continue trying to say Najee should be this pick, also selling out for Tua. No reason to do that. Najee is a volume runner where he gets a carry after carry after carry. He breaks down the defense. This team has so many good running backs. You got Breida, Gaskin, Ahmed. All three of those guys are pretty much more this versatile Michael Carter-esque type back. They don't have a true power back. They tried to get that with Jordan Howard, and it didn't work. They tried to get that with Kalen Ballage, didn't work. They've shown that they want RBBC running backs. And Javonte Williams is literally perfect for that. You think about Jordan Howard, he had Tariq Cohen there. You think about I'm bugging on the guy's name. I just said it. But bottom line, Javonte Williams is going to be the pick. I was thinking about the guy out of ASU who I'm bugging on right now, but he was also an RBBC. So Javonte Williams going to be the pick. He's young as well, guys, with his team that, again, we don't even know if the quarterback's going to be ready. We don't even know if the quarterback is the guy. Look at him. He's already a junior with so much less tread taken off his tires. Najee Harris, senior, has been getting so many carries. No disrespect to Najee. He's an absolute animal, a real force. For a team that wants a volume runner like the Steelers, like the Falcons, that's a good pickup. So I'm a big fan of it. So, I forgot that we traded back with the Falcons and collected an extra second, which turned into a first. Wow, the Falcons can have a really good draft here. The Eagles are sitting here, and I'm pretty sure, like, let's check out on what the Eagles did in free agency. Again, if you guys want to see Malcolm Brown, again, if you guys really think Malcolm Brown's going to change my decision, yeah, you guys are definitely in for one. If we want to look at what the Eagles have done in free agency, of course, it doesn't do that. They got, man, that Anthony Harris trade signing was an absolute steal, by the way. They haven't done jack for their offense, right? But looking at the offensive weapons on the board, we're not getting Najee Harris, for Christ's sakes. Nick Bolton could be definitely an option here. Wouldn't be a bad option at all because, again, I don't think Alex Singleton and Davion Taylor are going to be the most amazing prospects, to put it bluntly. I could even see a guy like Jason Away being the pick here. I'm just going to be honest. So looking at it, we could go Nick Bolton here. We could go a corner here. You got Asante Samuel Jr., and these teams, a lot of teams like Asante Samuel Jr. So if you guys want to get a second corner, that is much more about, he's the type of dog that you're looking for, right? Kelvin Joseph, another guy who we could potentially pick up. But this is a good spot, I think, possibly for a trade down, but I think that we cannot pass on the talent of either Asante Samuel or Nick Bolton. If we're looking at the teams that are coming up, a lot of them probably could take a corner. You could see actually quite a few of them have already gotten corner, but we can see like the Chargers getting a cornerback, the Raiders potentially getting a corner. We already saw that the Falcons, the Cardinals got a corner as well. We could trade back here. I'm not going to lie. We could trade back and still get some good value. So looking at the guys who are on the board, we could see a team trying to make a big move to try to be relevant this year. That team could be the Steelers. I know they don't have too much draft capital, but again, they're going all out for this year, and they decided to keep Ben, which is basically saying, screw it. Like Juju came back for 1 year. They're saying, let's run it back. The Eagles, I mean, again, is there any team that could pick up ASJ in this time period? We could see the Falcons, the Chargers do it. We could see even the Titans do it. I don't think the Titans want to roll back that way, but again, we could trade up with the draft capital as well. So the Steelers are trading up with the Eagles pretty far. We're going to see if we can send in a 4th-round pick. Again, the Eagles probably need it. Ooh, very interesting. So a 3rd-round pick does it, but a 4th round doesn't. I just want to see one thing. So we're going to send in a next year 3rd because, again, that actually might be worth closer to a 2nd than what we think. Just to give the Eagles some extra. Okay, the Eagles declined it. We are going to actually send in also our 7th-round pick just to be we'll finesse the system a little bit, give the Eagles a little bit extra draft capital to move up because the Steelers are going to be getting Najee Harris here, or Najee Harris. I don't know what people want to call him. He's an absolute freak, and he's a volume carrier, and that means this is where you want to take a running back too. So being able to get that, the Eagles are able to trade back and get a bit more draft capital for next year. Next year they could have 3 first and then kind of like 2 seconds because again, like a Steelers third could be. I mean, if they really suck this year, it could be that type of value. So Najee Harris definitely worth it out of Alabama for the Steelers who try to jump a team that needs a volume carrier. So with the Bengals sitting here on the board, I mean, we got to go offensive line, right? We went Jamar Chase. Now we have to look at the offensive line. So I'm looking at a guy like Trey Smith a little bit later. I'm looking at offensive tackles, and man, this is not a good spot for us. This is really not a good spot. I can see a trade back here as well. I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it interesting. Let's have some trades going on, all right? So there's still Nick Bolton on the board. There's still Christian Barmore. Looking at teams that could use a linebacker, the Lions already took Michael Parsons there. So looking at other teams that could use a linebacker, already got a linebacker as well. The Broncos could just want to make a micro move up here. They already lost their next year first, but they kept all the picks for the rest of this year. They could want to make a micro jump to select Nick Bolton. And allows the Bengals just to get a little bit extra draft capital, maybe in the next year's draft. But we're not going to be continuing. No, we want to go Broncos for this pick and the Bengals for here. But it allows, the Broncos don't want to be screwing themselves over in the long run. I mean, the 7th round pick should be perfectly adequate to move up 2 spots, but it's not. So we're going to have to toss in a 5th there, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's perfectly fine. If you have to use a 5th, piss off. We're going to be sending in, not this 7th. We're going to send in another 7th. It's bullshit for them to decline that deal. A 5th round pick to move up 2 spots. We've seen that in the 1st round. So Nick Bolton, to me, I mean, it's just you move up, you get the pick. I mean, the Bengals got an extra 5th round pick. They can be moving up as well. With the Falcons here on the board, again, they just got jumped for 2 players that they could have went after. That's unfortunate. So when we want to look at the other options for them, again, I don't think getting a center would be the best idea. I think they already have a guy, Matt Hennessy, there who could fill in that role pretty well. This, again, we could be seeing another trade back spot here. We could see Pat Freiermuth be going, but, somebody who I think is a sneaky riser that people don't understand is Jamin Davis, and he's an absolute stud. Like, definitely he's young. He has some energy to him. I don't think Baron Brownie fits this very well. I think that Oluokun, I think that's your guy. He plays your edge for you. Now you have Oluokun as well as Ojulari there. So you got Deion Jones, you have Michael Walker, and then you got your 2 edge players. We don't really need a linebacker, the more I think about it. We could just be looking. Running back's not going to be an option. Okay, so after almost dying on a corn kernel, we are back, and, I mean, we could be seeing an Alex Leatherwood move here. This is a tough one. I'm honestly going to be rocking safety, though. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I should probably do it. I was thinking honestly about trading up right there. You got Richie Grant here. You got Javon Holland. We already got our slot corner fix up. I think Richie Grant could be a really, really nice addition to the squad. Again, if we want to see what the Falcons have done in free agency, yeah, exactly. So I think this is obviously a huge need, especially after losing Keanu Neal as well as DeMonte Casey. Richie Grant should be probably around this pick, especially given his extreme burst on tape. Love it. Now with the Bengals sitting here, we could take an edge if we want to. We can get a Jason Oweh, but I don't think they really want to replace a Carl Lawson with an Oweh. It's just shoot. They say he's a 3-4 outside linebacker, but played in a 4-3. It's very interesting with Jason Oweh. There aren't really too many guys. I could see a Boogie Basham maybe being traded up for if we want to go that way. We have to fix up this offensive line. This is where I can see a Wyatt Davis going or a Trey Smith. Wyatt Davis is developmental as all get-go. I did a report on him, and I was not that impressed. I said he's worth a 2nd-round pick, but I could see the projection. I could see why people love him. So that's why I was like, okay, he's worth a 2nd-round pick. He's developmental. This is a team that doesn't need to win now. You'll be potentially seeing the Ravens drop off if they give Lamar a monster contract because, again, can't sign that many people. Ben going to be retiring soon. So we could see, even the Browns, we don't even know if they're going to give Baker a contract. So we could see the Bengals in a couple of years, if not even 1 year, potentially being a big riser in this division. So that's a big thing I want to highlight there. And with the line sitting on the board, I mean, again, we got to go after some type of help here with the wide receiver in the wide receiver room. You know, we could get Aaron Robinson though. I know we got to get offense too, but shoot, I think we got to get Rondale Moore here. Let's check to make sure that the Lions haven't done anything too crazy behind my back. And I mean, again, of course, it goes to the one spot where we didn't need to. Like wide receiver, they got Brashad Perriman and Tyrell Williams. Okay, that doesn't mean jack to me. So we are going to be getting Rondale Moore here for sure. For the Lions, that's going to be a good move. Making sure that I want to see we might be trading back up into the first in order to select slot corner, and that'd be a pretty good move. So with the Giants sitting on the board, this is an interesting one because they don't need a tight end. They have 2 of them. Linebacker, I'm not sure if you guys really need one, but I don't think that we really want to be taking one right now. Again, I thought that Jimmy Davis would have been a better fit on a different team. This could be just a great spot to take a guy like Jason Oweh. You know, the potential is through the roof. People love him. So out of realism, we're going to be going Jason Oweh here. Big fan of it. With the Niners on the board, they just brought back Jaquiski Tart for a 1-year contract. So I think safety's off the board. We could definitely be going for a guard spot. I know one of you guys said the interior offensive line isn't that big of a need, but I still would say I disagree to a certain degree. But that being said, you do. Let's see what the Niners did. Did they get a slot corner? I don't know if they did. Did they get a slot corner? They got Emmanuel Mosley, but I'm not sure if Emmanuel Mosley is a slot cornerback. I'm not going to be taking a shot at it. I'll be looking that next round. But if he is a slot corner, maybe in the next mock draft, we'll be taking Aaron Robinson there because he's a beast. But still, we've already gotten a corner. We don't need to go another corner in this draft. I think this is a good spot to trade back, especially with guys like Aaron Robinson, Christian Barmore on the board. What's a team that needs a slot corner? We look at teams, obviously, no, probably no. Ooh, actually, Washington could use it, but I'm not going to go balls to the wall and try to trade up for a slot corner. We see the Chargers doing it. Wow. There's quite a few teams that could do it. I just don't know if there's any teams that would pull the trigger. I was doing some research on Emmanuel Mosley. He was their 3rd option at slot. So their slot was K'Wan Williams. I know that you guys were probably like trying to tell me that in the comment section. So what I'm thinking right now is, do we keep K'Wan Williams? I don't know. I think the Niners would have already done so. You want to see what the Niners have already done? We can just do that right here and see what they've done. Emmanuel Mosley again. Jason Verrett, Emmanuel Mosley, they're both outside corners. Now we also have our 3rd outside corner, but again, I don't think that Emmanuel Mosley or Jason Verrett, you look at his contract, man. It's definitely, they're preparing to move off from him. They're using him as an insurance policy. Especially, I think they might have signed him before Trent Williams, and that might be just due to the fact that they might need to go for a tackle in the first round. Regardless, it's a cheap contract, and he'll be a great mentor for a guy like Caleb Farley, which, by the way, we'll address that in future drafts. So I think this might be a good spot for a slot corner like Aaron Robinson, and I don't really see too many teams that need a slot corner right now. So due to that, I'm going to be selecting Aaron Robinson here. Niners fans aren't going to be too happy with that. But again, we're trying to solidify that secondary. I don't think Emmanuel Mosley might be a good enough guy for you, but I don't think that Jason Verrett's going to be the long-term answer there. Now you have 2 guys who can be the long-term answers, and K'Wan Williams is replaced. So pretty big fan of what's been happening right now. Again, I might be going after guard later on. But the Cowboys are sitting here on the board, and, I mean, interior defensive line, I mean, yeah. Is that or safety? And I just think we've seen already 2 safeties get off the board. I don't think we have much of an option. Where did Merrick go? Merrick did go to the Jags. So we're going to go Christian Barmore here. Why not? Right? You got J.C. Horn and Christian Barmore. It's quite a steal right there. With the Jaguars on the board, I mean, I would look for safety here, but we already went it. So I'm going to be looking at the tight end squad. And again, I'm happy they're bringing Brevin Jordan closer. But I think the NFL is going to be wanting more of like the Pat Freiermuth type, especially with basically the way I don't think Trevor Lawrence has really ever had more of that wide receiver type of tight end. And you already have enough gadget weapons as it is. Get a true tight end in Pat Freiermuth and be able to just kick some ass. With the Patriots, this is an interesting one. If we want to see what the Patriots have done, let's just check it out right here. And I just want to make sure that we don't actually fuck up a pick because we got Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne here. I'm still intrigued on going a wide receiver at this spot. Linebacker wise, they're pretty stacked right now. They got, I mean, these two are pass rushers, of course. So middle linebacker wise, they might need a little bit of help, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know, this team is just built really, really well. I can still see them going interior defensive line or a tackle just to eventually get Trent Brown's replacement. But shoot, I don't really see too much of an issue with any of the guys on the roster right now. And if we're gonna be fair, I don't know. Leave Baron Browning wouldn't be a horrible option here, but again, they already got two centers and so they don't need Landon Dickerson anymore either. It's like, wow, you guys did a good job. You guys did a really good job. So this is a great spot to trade back in Bill Belichick fashion. You still got teams that probably need a center. Chargers no longer one of them. You look at the Raiders. I still think that they could. I think they brought back Nick Martin. I brought in Nick Martin though. So that's to me is that's a good signing right there. You know, I want to see what is up with. I think that we got Eichenberg or something for. Oh, we got Cosme for the Colts. I was thinking maybe moving up for a lineman for them. Man, I mean the teams are actually like Matt Skura is also the center now for the Dolphins, so good move by them. I can see the Eagles moving up for a center. I'm not gonna lie. You guys might not like it at all, but I mean we traded back. We got some really good future draft capital. That might be the right move. And I mean, I'm looking at teams that use a center. We could see the Baltimore Ravens potentially needing a center as well. I don't know who their center is, if we're going to be 100% honest. So I'm gonna check that really quick, and I'll be back with you guys in just a second. Okay, yeah, guys. This is where I look. I look at SportTrack.com for all this stuff. Yeah, we gotta get a center for them. I think the Ravens might be in the mood to move up. We can see the weapons that they're trying to add. We already gotten one of their weapons for them. I don't think we need to go two weapons with Brevin Jordan as well as Terrace Marshall. So I think this is a great spot. We'll cancel out of that right there to move up with the Ravens. Why not? Patriots are going to be requiring quite a bit of return on their capital here, and it's not going to be too bad. I mean, the Ravens have the capabilities to do so. So they're going to be throwing in a fourth, try to get Bills seventh in return. That's a pretty fair deal. If we had to move up two spots with a fifth round pick, we'll move up this many spots with a fourth. So now they're sitting on the board and they're like, dude, we need a center. Landon Dickerson is used to a heavy run scheme, but B, protecting his quarterback really well. I'm a big fan of it. Now you have a complete offensive line as well with really good weapons. Overall, big fan of it. With the Chargers on the board, I mean, shoot, you guys actually signed the Jet. I think it might have been the Jets, former guard, but like he actually was pretty damn good. So let's just see what the Chargers been up to. Ibushi guy, yeah, I think that he was one of the better guards it was the Lions. He was a Lions backup. He was one of the best guards in the league, PFF wise. So I don't know if we need to go offensive lineman here, but we could definitely look that way. I would look honestly for another safety. We could look for a safety slot corner type if we're gonna be honest. Asante Samuel Jr. wouldn't be a horrible option here. I could see the team like the Eagles trying to move up as well. We do need a number one corner, but I think a Tyson Campbell would fit this scheme really well. I think Keith Taylor would be the best fit, and we're not going to be selecting him here. So it's either edge or else safety to me as well. I think that Ronnie Perkins can be really lethal in this scheme, but I'm honestly waiting for a Joe Tryon possibly at our next pick. So it's either safety or corner. I'm going to rock safety. I'm going to go Javon Holland. He also has corner versatility. I think that he, along with did they get Rayshawn Jenkins? I'm forgetting. They didn't, but pairing him up again, Michael Davis, the only guy here. I think that pairing him up with Nasir Adderley has honestly been kind of a bust. So pairing him up in the slot as well as a safety rotation with Nasir Adderley as well as Derwin James, you could have one of the most lethal secondaries if you add maybe one more corner, like in my opinion, a Keith Taylor Jr. So we'll see. We'll definitely see Keith Taylor Jr. coming off the board sometime. With the Raiders on the board, I think we either have to go safety here, which we just took the only safety that I'd probably take, or we have to go offensive line because you guys brutally destroyed your offensive line. You guys could use a guard or a tackle in the future. You guys brought back Richie Incognito, but Alex Leatherwood literally fits that to a T. The Cardinals, we could definitely look at a guard spot. Let's just see what they did because I know that we just got restructuring of one of our guards. We got Brian Winters coming in though for a 1-year deal. This team does not want to look at linemen right now. They re-signed their linemen. I think they fit their needs right there. I could even see a linebacker coming in right here, somebody with some good pass rushing skills overall. But honestly, man, if you want a guy who's a lot like Hicks, I think that Jamin Davis could be a really, really interesting prospect. I think that he's probably the right pick too. There's a lot. I mean, we could go wide receiver here for sure. We got AJ Green, but again, are you guys seriously gonna think AJ Green is gonna fill your problems? No. Um, Honestly, I'm gonna be rocking a guy like Jamin Davis here. I'm a pretty big fan of this idea of being able to replace like Hassan Reddick with somebody like Jamin Davis. We could go for more of a guy like Ronnie Perkins though to basically again replace off that edge. But it's a tough one. You brought back Marcus Golden though. This team's ready to win now. This is the problem. We could just get tight end and just say fuck this game. We could just say fuck this game. This is another good spot for a trade back. I think this is a good spot to trade back. Yeah, I'm not comfortable doing any of these things right now. The Eagles have been waiting to get their corner. The Eagles will get their corner. So Eagles moving up with the Cards to select Asante Samuel Jr. So yeah, we got plenty of picks to trade up here anyways. And to be fair, we kind of need the picks too. The Chargers, I don't remember who the Chargers traded a 3rd round pick for. So you guys have to let me. Oh, we traded up with the Cardinals. I'm like, the hell is that pick? We're gonna trade up a 5th round pick for this. Again, 6 spots, but it's later on. We're gonna trade up with a 5th round pick to be able to select Asante Samuel Jr. So overall, really talented corner. Big fan of him. Being able to pair him up next to Darius Slay. You got a guy who could be a ball hawk as well. He has the crazy mentality, and I love it. I think he might be gone by this pick, but I'm just a huge fan of him. With the Dolphins on the board, I mean, Bernard McKinney might not be the long-term answer. That's something that I will put out there. So getting a guy like Baron Browning, Jamin Davis wouldn't be a horrible idea. But I think we do need to fix that slot up a little bit more. We could go Elijah Moore here or Dwayne Eskridge. Both these guys are super talented. I have Dwayne Eskridge a lot higher. And if you are going to win now, we could go that way. Elijah Moore, I just know a lot of the NFL really loves him. And again, you look at his birthday. He's born in 2000. I think Dwayne Eskridge is in either 98 or 97. I think the Dolphins are going to be trying to go more young. And as much as it hurts me because I love me some Dwayne Eskridge, we're going to be going Elijah Moore here. Let's just make sure that the Dolphins have not signed anybody who is directly a starting slot option. I don't give a shit about Matt Collins. But Will Fuller, I don't really think that he's going to be more the vertical threat, not really the gadget weapon underneath, in my opinion. So I honestly think that the best option, again, you got Bernardrick McKinney here. You got whoever the hell this Scarlet guy is for depth. I think this is going to be a good idea. Also, by the way, he's gone. So rip. But I think Elijah Moore is going to be the right pick here. He's definitely somebody who I keep having him drop, but that's just because of the fact that, again, slot wide receivers just might not have that much value in the NFL. With the Washington football team, I just don't even know what the hell to get you guys. Like if you want to look at what the hell Washington has done, they've done a pretty good job. They could use an extra safety for depth, but like shit, there's not really much we can do. Jimmy Moreland is going to be a pretty solid corner for you guys. You have a pretty good group there. You got Fuller, you got WJ3, and then Moreland. That's a good squad, and you don't need a slot weapon anymore. So Dwayne Eskridge is off the table. We could get another boundary wide receiver, though, in Tylan Wallace. That'd be interesting. So I'm honestly thinking that right now. The more I think about it, the more I kind of want to do it. Cameron Curl was pretty good last year, and I think your other safety was actually pretty talented. We just don't have the real need to go after another safety at this moment. Your team's built for a Super Bowl. Why not just push him over the edge with Tylan Wallace, who's going to be much more that he's going to be a deep threat, but he's also going to be like a jump ball threat. So now you have your entire wide receiver core filled out to the T. Big fan of this entire squad. Huge fan of it. With the Chargers on the board, again, we got to go corner here. And it's weird. I feel like Kelvin Joseph is going to be this pick. Oh, man. Shoot. I mean, where do we go? I mean, can we just go after Keith Taylor Jr. here? Or should we trade back and get Keith Taylor later? I think we should trade back and get Keith Taylor later and continue to accumulate picks. We could get a linebacker here as well, but there are teams that are probably looking for edge rushers this team specifically, but we saw them lose Melvin Ingram potentially. I'm pretty sure Melvin Ingram's off the squad. I think he is a free agent right now. So I just want to see if Melvin Ingram is on the board, and he is still on the board. So Melvin Ingram was about 270. None of these guys here are 270. These guys are all in like the 240s, 250s as well. So I'm a little bit worried about pulling the trigger on a guy like Ossai here, where there's a team, which by the way, Ossai's probably going to be picked next, that could probably use him. It's a tough one, guys. Honestly, I would think that a guy like Joe Tryon could probably fit this scheme pretty well. I want to see Joe Tryon is probably like 250 as well. Yeah, he's 251. Let's see about Quincy Roche's weight. Wow, these guys who are playing 4-3 end just are not that big anymore. Boogie Basham is the biggest guy, but he's stuck to a 4-3 defensive end. So I'm definitely not going to be rocking that. Honestly, we might just say fuck it and go Ronnie Perkins here just for some extra edge presence. We do need a corner for sure, but I think we do have the capital to be able to get the guy that we want at another pick. Let's get Ronnie Perkins to go best player available. He is an absolute beast. I would think about Ossai there as well, but I don't know. I think the Titans, we're gonna skip on corner again, but we're gonna go Ossai here. It's too good a value to pass up. You guys need to continue to develop that pass rush, and you got Bud Dupree, and now you got Joseph Ossai. You can definitely try to continue working that scheme to be able to get your pass rush, similar to what you did last year. With the Colts on the board, I think this one's a pretty obvious pick to me. You got to go well, actually, no, you brought back Xavier Rhodes. You don't need to go corner here anymore. So I'd be looking at the wide receiver route. Again, you're trying to look at Sammy Watkins. This could, of course, change by that time. I see De'Ami Brown or Amon-Ra. The Browns are definitely dueling it out. But honestly, you get the USC to USC connection. They like USC's scheme, apparently, just given the fact that they've obviously taken guys from USC. Amon-Ra St. Brown, to me, has to be the pick here. With the cards on the board, this is interesting. Again, interesting spot because I don't really know where to go. We might go Creed Humphrey just for versatility, but I don't think so. We're going to be going Trey Smith as extra depth on the offensive line. They're just going to go best player available and just say, screw it. We're going to rock it. With the Seahawks on the board, man, there's really not too many great options here, guys. And that's a little bit unfortunate. I think we have to go corner here, though. They're going to be going Kelvin Joseph, who is a boundary corner, 6'1", 191. He's going to be definitely a very interesting style of corner out of Kentucky. It seems like more of a Seahawks pick than anything. Very young, has the potential. Not a huge fan of him personally, but, he definitely has that power to him. And the Rams, they're going all in this year, guys. I would look at a linebacker here, but we're going to pull a tricky one on you. They lost Gerald Everett. That's a big loss. That's like 43 catches that they lost. Brevin Jordan, to me, all the way. Again, if we want to see if the Rams did pick up a tight end, we could definitely check that one out because, again, I'm starting to they didn't. Good. I was like, oh, what if they did? So they didn't do it. Brevin Jordan's going to be a sneaky weapon for the Rams. That's one of my favorite picks in the draft. Now, the Patriots are here, and, again, do we need anything? No. But we could get some deep speed on this squad. And, I'm looking at guys. Ooh. Somebody who could work in the scheme is Seth Williams. He's pretty much probably what they thought in N'Keal Harry. And honestly, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Seth Williams definitely shouldn't. He's going to be gone by that point, especially given his youth. He's a true junior as well. And he has just unreal ability. I have him as a late third just due to the fact that he does have some problems. But again, I'm starting to realize that Bo Nix might be a major problem that has been the essence of all the problems for Seth Williams. He's just been an awful quarterback. And for the Browns, I want to check to see if they've gotten an interior defensive lineman because I have a bad feeling that they did because they got Malik Jackson. They've had a damn good offseason, man. Look at this. They got John Johnson, their safety. They got some linebackers here who are not that bad. Malcolm Smith's not the greatest, but Anthony Walker was a great signing. Their defensive line, they got two really good deals as well. Wow. They're also signing JoJo Natson, which is interesting. They want a returner. I don't really know what to Troy Hill as well. They've really done a good job here. I think they might want to go best player available. So let's see who's on the board. And to be honest, that is an interior defensive line. That's Levi Onwuzurike. And I'm also dropping Osa Digizua down to around this in my rankings. Milton Williams, never seen him before. But Levi Onwuzurike, again, just going best player available to get some extra depth. Malik Jackson there only for 1 year. That's a good mentor as well for Levi, who he was an absolute stud in that run game. Next, we got the Saints, and we don't need to go slot corner here. We might want to go edge, though. And there's a guy like Joe Tryon or Boogie Basham, who could be a really, damn. You already have your 2 edges, obviously. Oh, shit. Forgot about linebacker, guys. Jamin Davis all the way. By the way, I'm not even going to describe it. He is a great coverage linebacker. 11 starts, which is why he could probably be here. But I'm just a huge fan of his talent. You definitely need to get a linebacker. I continue forgetting about that in the first round. Thanks to TDN for trying to distract me with a bunch of shit. But I'm a big fan of Jamin Davis. Leaving the Bills here to be able to select either Joe Tryon or Boogie Basham. Boogie Basham fits the scheme a bit more at his size, 280 pounds than 250. That's an amazing signing right there. I'm a big fan of that. Big fan. And the Packers sitting here on the board. You guys just brought back Kevin King, so good thing I didn't go corner in the first, right? I would be looking at wide receiver here, and you got Dwayne Eskridge on the board. I think you got to go it, man. People just do not understand how good Dwayne Eskridge is, and I have a first-round grade on him. With the ball in his hands, he's unreal. He's definitely what they're looking for. For, of course, Aaron Rodgers. Now, the Chiefs, I have 2 routes I would go here. Well, did you guys see this shit? They literally have interior offensive line as one of their biggest needs twice, and that's the one thing that they don't need. It's just kind of funny to me. I would be going wide receiver here as well. I'm seeing De'Ami Brown as a good replacement for Sammy Watkins. They try to get Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm going to be going De'Ami Brown here just to end it off well. And leaves the Bucs on the board. And, this might just be for the hell of it, but why not get Joe Tryon to eventually replace JPP? I don't know. Why not? That's what I'm hearing in my head. Just why not? They're gearing up for another big-ass run. It's a great fit. I'm a huge fan of Joe Tryon here. It's just like, again, why not? It's a replacement for JPP after this year or next. So let me know what you guys think. Stick over here because tomorrow we'll be bringing back another one. We're going to have prospect breakdowns with all 22 tape as well. It's going to be fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the comment button, subscribe, do all the jazz. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.